Oh, what's happening? Guys, do you like amazing facts? I would imagine so, because that's why you're here. Then I just want to remind you that I started a brand new brand called Fact Maniac, where I post daily amazing facts on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Now you don't have to wait for these videos to get your amazing fact fix. Check out the links in the description, start following Fact Maniac now, or just search Fact Maniac on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook. Okay, let's jump into it. You know, phobias are not a fun thing to have, especially when you're afraid of spiders like I am. But before you freak out or feel even ashamed for being afraid of something, you might be surprised to learn that many people share that exact same phobia. Here are the 10 most common phobias explained. Number 10 is deep water. Splish splash, I was terrified. It's fairly common to hear that someone is afraid of the unknown, so it should be no surprise that one of the most common phobias is that of open water. Usually relating to the ocean, thalassophobia is the fear of large bodies of water or sea travel. Those with this condition can be uncomfortable in lakes as well as bays, particularly ones that hide large creatures in them, such as the wild baldo, or whales. Knowledge whales. Being on a boat in the middle of the ocean without any land in sight would essentially make that person's worst nightmare come true. So if you're in a large body of water and you start to have a panic attack, don't worry, the knowledge whale's here to save you. Jump on my back, come on. Oh. Number 9 is flying. A number of phobias can cause getting on a plane to be an ordeal for someone, but only one targets the act of flying directly. Those people would argue that human beings are not meant to be airborne. God would have gave us wings if we were supposed to fly. But having an anxiety of being up in the sky is a condition called aerophobia. People with this fear are extremely paranoid of being on an airplane, helicopter, hot air balloon, or basically any other form of air travel. When faced with no choice but to fly, they often require medications or other methods to avoid losing control of their emotions and panicking mid-flight. Let me off, let me off, let me off, let me off, let me off. It's hard to determine how many people suffer from this condition, as it can be a symptom of several others, but it comes along with the potential for vomiting and panic attacks. Just a whole lot of general unpleasantness. Number 8 are germs. Also known as verminophobia or germophobia, mysophobia is the fear of germs and contaminations. Want some of my water? Oops. Often affecting people with obsessive compulsive disorder, this condition was named by William Hammond in 1879 after he noticed a person's need to compulsively wash their hands several times. Mysophobia makes the individual constantly think up ways in which they're unclean. Sufferers are abnormally scared of dirt and filth and often study ways in which they can limit the amount of bacteria they usually come into contact with. They view the world as a dirty, dirty place and struggle with making it cleaner, often spending a fortune on cleaning supplies, soaps, and various disinfectants. I'm not gonna lie to you, I don't really blame them. It's a filthy world. Have you ever seen the streets of Hollywood? No thanks. Number 7 are thunderstorms. Personally, these put me to bed, but some people, it wakes them up. It's healthy to be startled every time there's a sudden clap of thunder that shakes your eardrums and the windows around you, but if that fear persists, you may have a condition called astrophobia. Astrophobia most often affects children and gradually diminishes until it's no longer an issue later in life. However, many adolescents and fully grown adults suffer from this crippling fear of thunder, lightning, and even rain. You ever see the movie Ted? That's exactly what it is. Thunder buddies! Usually, if the fear persists into adulthood, it's due to a traumatic event such as an electrocution or flooding, or an irrational fear of both occurring. Many of these people will actually take cover under their bed or in a closet. Me personally, I like to go right by the window or even on a porch and just see the pow-pow! Just very soothing for me. That is until one day I get struck. Number 6 are dogs. Turns out mail carriers aren't the only ones that have a fear of dogs, though they may have understandable reasons to be. Cynophobia sufferers possess extreme fear of man's so-called best friends, often experiencing severe panic attacks when encountering one. Such a fear can stem from a negative experience with a dog, such as being a victim of an attack or witnessing one. Even seeing a dog attack another animal can be traumatizing enough, bearing witness to their potential viciousness. While some cynophobic individuals are only scared when a dog's baring its teeth, ferociously barking, or preparing to attack, other sufferers can become rigid in sheer terror by simply hearing a dog growl. But what about this dog? Ooh, he just chillin'. He high, he ain't gonna hurt you. Ooh, yeah. Number 5 is a fear of open spaces. Agoraphobia, or the fear of open spaces, affects thousands of individuals. 1 in 3 people who have a panic disorder also suffer from this condition. Like many phobias, being afraid of open spaces can range in severity. Most agoraphobic individuals are simply uneasy when outside of familiar places, and will always eat and shop in the same places or ones that they easily recognize. Then there's the other end of the spectrum where people can't even go outside because of the fear that the outside world will hurt them. A large number of people spend their entire lives in their own homes using delivery services to get things in and out. Okay, that I identify with. Not because I have agoraphobia, just because I'm really lazy and I don't want to go grocery shopping. Additionally, there are a number with this fear who will simply avoid certain places and can experience horrible anxiety attacks when forced to go to them. Number 4 are tight spaces. Odds are pretty good that you either are or know someone that suffers from claustrophobia, the fear of cramped, tight spaces. Quick fun fact, when I was very young, I rolled up another very young kid in a rug, and he started screaming, and we couldn't get him out right away because it was a very thick rug. So I definitely caused him this. Much of that fear comes from a worry that the person will be unable to escape the room or situation, and is compounded when multiple people surround them. Oh, that's why that kid was freaking out. Yeah, we definitely gave this to him. As much as 7% of the world population suffers from claustrophobia of some form, whether it's a mild case in which an individual becomes uncomfortable in elevators, to a severe case in which the person actively avoids driving through tunnels, entering closets, or even getting on an airplane. There are even some cases in which a person can't have any part of them inside small areas and refuses to put their hands in garbage cans or cupboards. Any part of them in small areas. Okay, you know what? I'm done with that. I'm not even gonna make a joke there. You can figure that out for yourself. Moving on. Number 3 are snakes. So many people have this. The number of people who are scared of all things serpent, a condition called ophidiophobia, is very high. Studies show that nearly 1 in 3 adults has a fear of snakes, though that fear can range from an intense terror to one in which the subject simply becomes severely uncomfortable when touching them. Wait, isn't that pretty much everybody? No one likes to touch a slimy little serpent. Much of this fear could stem from the lack of understanding of these legless creatures and the belief that all snakes are hostile or are in some way venomous. Back before the creation of antivenoms, a snake bite was much more devastating to the human body, which could be one of the reasons behind the staggering number of people who freeze up, tremble, or let out a blood-curdling scream when something slithers past them. Like a politician or a lawyer. Number 2 are heights. Yep, sign me up, right here. That's me. Derived from the Greek word akron, which means heights, acrophobia is the fear of just that, heights. One of the oldest fears there is, being afraid of high places, has stopped many people from enjoying a lot of recreational activities, like amusement park rides, rock climbing, or in some cases, even getting on a plane. Many people suffer from such a crippling anxiety when they're high up that they can't live in apartment buildings above the main floor or even ride in an elevator. Much of this fear can be traced back to the mind's need to protect itself, and thus the body, from severe injury and death. And as you know, falling hurts, and even if the furthest you've ever fallen off of is a chair, your brain knows that a much larger fall would lead to, well, a lot more pain. Okay, does anyone else that has this like I do, if you look over like a really tall balcony, or even look out a window down really low, you feel like it's pulling you, man. You feel like it's pulling you, you're gonna die. You just run away. That's what I do. And number 1 is spiders. Okay, we're gonna get through this one really quick. If spiders freak you out, then you might be like the millions and millions of other people, including myself, who are terrified of the 8-legged pest. Arachnophobia, or the fear of spiders, is one of the most common phobias in the world next to public speaking. Research has shown that women are nearly 4 times more likely than men to be afraid of arachnids, and it's believed that the spider's erratic movements, multiple, often hairy legs, and love of blood of its victims are the root causes of people to be so scared of them. Oh, I forgot to mention they're also made by the devil. I could keep going, but I don't want to because I think you're grossed out and I certainly am. Okay, bye. So those are the 10 most common phobias explained. And if you guys enjoyed this, be sure to give it a big thumbs up. Also, be sure to subscribe to my channel if you haven't yet and click the bell beside the subscribe button to enable notifications so that you never miss a thing because I release new videos all the time. Thank you guys for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.